When you're spending real money on a hotel, there's one mistake that quietly ruins more luxury trips than anything else. And it has nothing to do with how much you spend. It's location. At this level, the room isn't where the trip happens around. The room is the trip. The right location means you walk out the door into the best of the city, you're a short stroll from dinner, and you fall asleep to quiet. The wrong one means a stunning suite that's a 40-minute taxi from anything, with a club thumping below your window until 3 a.m. So in this video, I'm giving you the 7 location mistakes that wreck luxury trips, the exact ones I see couples make over and over, and a 30-second test you can run before you book that saves you from almost all of them. Stick around for number 7, because it's the one even experienced travelers get wrong, and it's the most expensive of all. Here's the thing nobody tells you about luxury travel. As the price of a hotel goes up, location matters more, not less. When you book a budget room, you're mostly buying a bed. When you book a 5-star suite, you're buying an experience. The view, the walk to dinner, the neighborhood you step into, the quiet you sleep in. All of that is location, and none of it shows up in the nightly rate. A breathtaking hotel in the wrong spot is just an expensive room you'll spend the whole trip leaving and coming back to. So, whatever you're booking, a city hotel, an island resort, a mountain lodge, run everything I'm about to say against it. These mistakes are destination agnostic. They apply whether you're booking Paris, the Amalfi Coast, or Kyoto. Let's get into them. Mistake number 1, and the most common: booking the view in the photos instead of the view from your actual room. Every hotel leads with its single best shot, and that shot is almost always taken from the rooftop, or the infinity pool, or the one-corner suite that costs 3 times what you're paying. Then you arrive, open your curtains, and you're looking at an air shaft, or a parking lot, or a wall. The fix is simple, but you have to be deliberate. Find out exactly which room category has the view you want, and book that specific category, not the base room with your fingers crossed. Read recent reviews and look at guest photos, not just the hotels, because guests show you the truth. And if the view is the reason you're choosing this hotel, it's worth paying up for the room that actually has it. On a trip like this, the view is the product. Mistake number 2, booking somewhere beautiful but far from where you'll actually eat and walk. This one sneaks up on people because the hotel looks perfect in isolation. But then every dinner is a 30-minute taxi each way. Every evening stroll requires a plan, and the spontaneity that makes a trip romantic just evaporates. The single best question you can ask before booking is, how far is the nearest great dinner, and can we walk to it? In a city, you want to be in a real neighborhood with restaurants and life within a 10-minute walk. The magic of a good location is the unplanned stuff. Wandering out after a nap, finding a little wine bar, walking home under the lights. You can't do any of that stranded behind a gate 20 minutes from town. Mistake number 3, confusing convenient with good. People search for a central hotel, see something right next to the main train station or near the airport, and book it because it looks easy. But station districts and airport zones are almost always the least charming parts of any city. They're built for transit, not for living, and you'll spend your evenings surrounded by chain restaurants and rolling suitcases. The beach version is just as common. The strip of big resort hotels is almost never where the charming town actually is. So you look out at the sea, but you're a taxi ride from anywhere with real character. Convenient for arriving is not the same as good for staying. Unless you've got a 5 a.m. flight, base yourself where the city is actually beautiful, and treat the extra 15 minutes to the station on departure day as a non-issue. You'll spend one morning leaving, but you'll spend the whole trip living in the neighborhood you chose. Okay, before the next 4, here's the test I promised, and it's the single most useful thing in this video. Before you book any hotel, open a map and run 3 questions. 1. Drop the hotel's pin and search restaurants around it. Is there a cluster of good places within a 10-minute walk, or is it a desert? 2. Switch to satellite or street view and actually look. Is it on a quiet street, or right on a 6-lane road or a nightlife strip? And 3. Find the real room category with the view or feature you want and confirm the price for that specific room, not the headline rate. 30 seconds, 3 questions, and you've caught the mistakes that ruin most trips. The tool I use for this is a map that overlays hotels right onto the neighborhood, so you can see exactly where everything sits. I'll link it below. Now, the mistakes that are easy to miss. Mistake number 4. Not checking how you physically get to your room. This is the one that ambushes couples at the most beautiful properties. That dreamy cliffside suite? Getting to it can mean hauling your luggage down 200 cave steps with no road access. That hilltop villa might be a steep climb every single time you want to leave. That overwater bungalow at the far end of the resort can be a 15-minute walk to breakfast. None of these are deal breakers if you know about them, but they ruin your day if you don't. Before you book, check 3 things. Is there road or elevator access? How far is the room from the entrance and the restaurant? And are there a lot of stairs? If mobility matters to either of you, this isn't optional. Ask the hotel directly and they'll tell you. Mistake number 5. Booking right on top of the noise. A gorgeous room is worthless if you can't sleep in it. The classic traps are a room over the hotel bar or club, a street-facing room on a busy road, a room next to the elevator or the rooftop venue, or a hotel right on the main nightlife strip that looked lively and fun when you booked it and sounds like a nightclub at 2 a.m. The fix cost nothing. When you book, request a high floor, away from the street, the elevator, and any bar or event space. Read recent reviews with the word noise in mind. Guests always mention it. And if the whole hotel sits on a party street, just know what you're signing up for. You're paying for rest as much as anything else. Mistake number 6. Misjudging isolation. And this one cuts both ways. Some couples book a remote resort dreaming of exploring the area, then discover they're 90 minutes from anything, effectively trapped, and paying captive resort prices for every single meal because there's nowhere else to go. Other couples book a busy city center hotel for a trip that was really meant to be a do-nothing honeymoon and spend it wishing they'd just stayed somewhere secluded. Neither is wrong, but you have to know which trip you're taking. Ask yourselves honestly, do we want a base, where we'll go out and explore and the hotel is just home? Or a bubble, where the resort is the whole point and we never want to leave? Then book to match. The misery always comes from a mismatch. A bubble when you wanted a base, or a base when you wanted a bubble. And mistake number 7, the biggest, and the one even seasoned travelers make, spending your whole budget on the hotel instead of the location. It's so tempting to pour everything into the most spectacular property you can afford. But I promise you this, a merely good room in a perfect location beats a spectacular room in a bad one, every single time. Because you don't experience your trip from inside the suite. You experience it from the front door outward. The neighborhood you step into, the walk to dinner, what's around you at golden hour. That's the trip. So when you're choosing, weight location first, then the room. If you have to compromise, compromise on the thread count, never on the street. Get the location right, and an ordinary evening becomes magic. Get it wrong, and even the most beautiful hotel in the world can't save it. So how do you get this right every time? 3 quick tools. First, use a hotel map that shows properties laid over the real neighborhood so you can see at a glance what's walkable and what's isolated. That one habit alone fixes most of this, and I've linked the map I use below. Second, read the recent reviews specifically for location, noise, and how far everything is. Sort by newest and skip the 5-star fluff. And third, when in doubt, email the hotel and ask the blunt questions. Which room has the view? How do we get to it? And how far is the nearest good dinner? A good hotel answers happily. And one pro move. Book a fully refundable rate to lock the price. Then take your time checking the location properly. If it doesn't pass the test, cancel and rebook. You lose nothing, and you never have to panic book the wrong room. So, there are your 7. Quick recap. Book the view your room actually has, not the one in the photos. Stay within a walk of where you'll eat. Don't confuse the station district with a good neighborhood. Check how you physically reach the room. Avoid the noise. Match isolation to the trip you actually want. And above all, spend on the location, not just the hotel. Run the 30-second map test before every booking, and you'll dodge nearly all of it. The map and booking tools I mentioned are linked in the description, so you can put this to work on your next trip. If this saved you from a booking you'd have regretted, subscribe. I make one of these every week for couples who want to get the details right. And tell me in the comments, what's the worst hotel location you've ever booked? I'll see you in the next one.